In Minecraft the movie, we saw tons of familiar creatures brought to life, but how close were they to their in-game versions? From creepers to villagers to the Enderman himself, we're breaking it all down. Side by side, block by block. Let's get into it. The first is Creeper. There's no mob more feared or more famous than the Creeper. In the game, it's the ultimate silent killer. It doesn't chase, it doesn't roar, it just sneaks up, hisses, and explodes. And no matter how many times you hear that sound, it still ruins your day. One wrong step, and your house, your health bar, and your hopes, gone. In the movie, the Creeper doesn't sneak, it announces itself. Right before it explodes, it starts to glow, giving off this eerie green light that lets everyone know something very bad is about to happen. It's still silent, still handless, and still deadly, but now it hits harder, looks bigger, and shows up during some of the movie's most intense moments. One creeper nearly takes out Garrett early on. Later, a whole group of them is used to blow up a mine in a huge chain reaction. So how does it compare? The core idea is still there. Creepers are unpredictable and dangerous, but the movie version adds just enough flair to make them feel more like a ticking time bomb and less like a random encounter. Still terrifying, just a little more cinematic. After surviving a close call with a creeper, the last thing you expect to see is a guy in a green robe waddling around like he's lost on his way to a farmer's market. Enter the villager. In the game, villagers are simple. They trade, farm, and go a lot. They've got different jobs, different outfits, and about the same amount of awareness as a chicken. But somehow, they're lovable. You build around them, protect them, and every once in a while, you trap one in your house to get cheaper emerald deals. It's tradition. In the movie, though, villagers go full comedy. The one that steals the show is a nitwit, a green-robed goofball with zero skills, zero job, and somehow, a love life. After accidentally crossing into Earth, he ends up getting hit by a car, invited to dinner, and by the end of the movie, he's engaged to a school principal. No, really. It's not about trading anymore. It's about awkward charm. The villagers in the film feel more like quirky extras in a sitcom than neutral background NPCs. They don't build, they don't farm, but they definitely make you laugh. So while the behavior's a stretch, the vibe, still pure Minecraft, blocky, bizarre, and somehow kind of heartwarming. But not every mob is this peaceful. Because when the sun goes down in Minecraft, something else rises. And it's hungry. Next up are zombies. Zombies are Minecraft 101. You hear the groan, you check your 6, and if you're lucky, you get away before getting smacked. They're slow, they're dumb, and they burn in the sunlight. Classic video game enemies. One zombie, easy. A horde, game over if you're not ready. In the movie, the zombies don't just shuffle, they swarm. They come out fast, in groups, and they're way more aggressive than you'd expect. You've got characters running, screaming, and trying not to get overwhelmed, all while these undead mobs chase them down like it's a horror film. It's no longer just background noise. They're a real threat. And when the sun rises, just like in the game, they burst into flames and vanish. It's a nice touch, true to the mechanics, but way more intense in motion. You don't just hear the groans, you feel the danger. So how does it stack up? The movie zombies take what we know and make it scarier. They look the part, they sound the part, and this time, they actually earn their screen time. You're not laughing at these ones, you're running. And just when you think you've handled the zombies, one of them shows up riding a chicken. Next up, the chicken jockey. In the game, chicken jockeys are rare. A baby zombie riding a chicken sounds like a joke until it's sprinting at you full speed, impossible to hit and somehow doing more damage than a creeper. It's tiny, it's fast, and it's ridiculous. But it's also one of Minecraft's best "what am I even looking at" moments. The movie takes that chaos and dials it all the way up. During one of the wildest scenes, a chicken comes squawking into a fight ring with a baby zombie on its back, ready to throw hands. And this isn't just a visual gag. The thing fights. It attacks Garrett in the middle of a full-blown underground brawl, and for a second, it looks like he's actually going to lose to a toddler with a feathered tank. The best part? The movie knows how absurd it is. As soon as it drops in, Steve just yells, "Chicken jockey!" like it's a boss battle. And it kind of is. It's fast, it's chaotic, and somehow it works. So how does it compare? Honestly, spot on. It keeps the humor, keeps the energy, and turns one of the game's weirdest mobs into one of the film's best moments. And now that we've handled the tiniest fighter in the movie, let's meet one of the scariest, Enderman. After surviving a zombie horde and a baby riding poultry, the gang finally gets a breather until they enter the mansion. That's where the vibe shifts. The lights dim, the air goes still, and standing at the end of a dark hallway is something tall, silent, and just wrong. Endermen in the game are creepy, no question. They teleport without warning, They pick up blocks for no reason, and if you make eye contact for too long, you're done. They don't chase, they stalk, they wait, and when they strike, it's brutal. In the movie, the Enderman goes from unsettling to full-on nightmare. Henry encounters it while trying to grab the Earth crystal, and the second he locks eyes, the world turns sideways. He starts hallucinating, seeing people from earlier in the story, hearing voices, and losing his grip on reality. It's not just an enemy, it's psychological warfare. And that's what makes it one of the best scenes in the whole film. So how does it compare? The movie doesn't just show us what an Enderman looks like. It shows us how it feels to face one. It's dark, it's disorienting, and it absolutely nails the vibe. Coming up next is the total opposite. Loyal, warm, and 100% best boy. Let's talk about Dennis, the wolf. Right after the mansion's mind games and monster battles, we finally get a reminder of what makes Minecraft feel like home. It's not diamonds, it's not redstone. It's that one wolf who sticks with you no matter what. In the movie, that wolf is Dennis, and he's more than just a pet, he's family. In the game, wolves are simple. Toss them a bone, and they'll follow you anywhere. They attack when you're hit, they sit when you tell them to, and if you've ever lost one in-game, you know it hurts more than it should. But in the movie, Dennis isn't just loyal, he's a legend. From the moment Steve tames him with a bone, Dennis is all in. He runs across the overworld, protects the group, and even gets trusted with the creation cube, the most powerful object in the movie. He's not just part of the story, he drives it. When things fall apart, Dennis shows up. When there's danger, he dives in. He even helps bring the crew back together in the end. What makes Dennis stand out is how real his loyalty feels. He's fierce in battle, but soft in quiet moments. He doesn't need words. You get it in the way he moves, the way he watches, the way he protects. So yeah, in a world full of exploding mobs and flying monsters, Dennis proves one thing. Minecraft's best companion is still man's best friend. But if you're tired of wholesome vibes, don't worry. We're headed straight back into danger. Next up, piglins. Piglins in Minecraft are greedy, hostile, and always sniffing around for gold. Walk into the nether without wearing some bling, they'll swarm you like you just dropped a stack of diamonds. They grunt, they charge, and they don't care who you are as long as you've got loot. Now in the movie, piglins don't just exist, they dominate. They're not random mobs wandering the nether. They're an army. And they're not working alone. They're led by Malgosia, the piglin sorceress with a serious grudge and a world domination plan. These piglins aren't just aggressive, they're organized. They ride hoglins, march in formation, and storm the overworld like they've been training for years. Gone are the days of bumping into a piglin and panic throwing gold. In the movie, you run or fight. And fighting isn't always a good idea. So how does it compare? The game's piglins are chaotic looters. The movie's piglins are soldiers. Both are dangerous, but the film gives them more purpose, more menace, and more style. It's less "don't forget your gold boots" and more "this is war." And if you're building an army, you're going to need something strong to stop it. Up next, Iron Golem. When piglins start tearing through everything in their path, there's only one mob you call for backup, the Iron Golem. In the game, they're the quiet giants of the village. Built with iron blocks and a carved pumpkin, they don't say much, but when they move, mobs move out of the way. They're strong, loyal, and absolutely terrifying when angry. In the movie, Iron Golems go from village protectors to full-on war machines. The crew doesn't just stumble upon them, they build them. And then they upgrade them. Faster, stronger, and smarter than ever, these golems charge into the final battle with one job: crush anything that threatens the overworld. They don't just defend, they go on the offensive. Watching them wipe out waves of piglins is like seeing a walking tank with flower energy. It's the perfect Minecraft payoff, crafting your own defense and watching it save the day. So how does it compare? The game's Iron Golems are tough. The movies? Absolute beasts. They kept the design, kept the heart, and added just enough firepower to make them unforgettable. But not every threat in Minecraft is grounded. Some of them float and explode. Coming up next, ghast. If creepers are scary on the ground, ghasts are pure chaos in the sky. In Minecraft, these giant ghostly jellyfish float around the nether, crying like babies until they see you. Then it's fireballs, explosions, and a whole lot of running. They're hard to hit, harder to dodge, and every time you hear that whine, you know something's about to get blown up. The movie doesn't tone them down, it amps them up. Ghasts make their entrance during one of the most dangerous moments. They swoop in over a crumbling bridge, launch fireballs like missiles, and almost wipe out the team in one blast. One even gets ridden for a hot second. Yes, ridden. That's how wild things get. They're still floating nightmares, but now they've got better aim, more presence, and way more destruction packed into every scream. They feel like boss-level threats, even if they only show up briefly. So how does it compare? In-game ghasts are a pain. In the movie, they're monsters. Bigger, louder, and harder to survive. The second you hear that cry, you don't fight, you pray. And while ghasts rule the sky, something far more grounded and gross is waiting in the shadows. Next up, spider. Spiders in Minecraft are sneaky. By day, they mind their business. By night, or in any dark corner, they become fast, wall-crawling nightmares. They're not the strongest mobs, but they're quick, low to the ground, and always seem to show up right when your health is low. They're the jump scare you didn't ask for. In the movie, they go full horror. These spiders don't just crawl, they pounce. Massive, hairy, and terrifying, they show up during the crew's first night in the overworld and instantly shift the mood. One even shows up being ridden by a skeleton, turning into a double threat of speed and long-range firepower. There's no warning, no music cue, they just drop in and suddenly you're in a survival movie. The scale is way bigger, and the fear factor? Off the charts. You don't just run from these. You run and scream. So how does it compare? The game spider is annoying. The movie spider is horrifying. It keeps the basic behavior, but turns the design up to nightmare mode. Darker, faster, and somehow way too real. After that, you might be ready for something gentler, something pink, something that bleats. Next up, sheep. After all the explosions and monster mayhem, you wouldn't expect a sheep to steal the scene. But this isn't just any sheep, it's pink. And in Minecraft, that makes it rare. Like 1 in 1,000 rare. So when Steve enters the overworld, the very first mob he meets is a pink sheep. Yeah, it matters. In the game, sheep are useful. You shear them for wool, farm them for food, and sometimes dye them just for fun. But they're passive, background creatures. You don't really bond with a sheep. In the movie, this one's different. The pink sheep doesn't talk or fight, but it shows up at just the right moment, almost like a guide. Steve even builds his first home using its wool, giving the scene this weirdly emotional tone. It's peaceful. It's colorful. It's Minecraft at its calmest, and after everything Steve's been through, it hits surprisingly hard. So how does it compare? The movie takes a low-key mob and gives it meaning. It's not just about color, it's about connection. The pink sheep becomes a symbol of creativity and calm in a world that's constantly under threat. But don't get too comfortable, because just around the corner, something's drawing a bow. Next up, skeleton. You hear it before you see it, that soft, rattling clatter of bones. And then, thwack, arrow to the face. Skeletons in Minecraft aren't flashy, but they're deadly. They keep their distance, fire nonstop, and love ambushing you in caves when your last torch just burned out. The movie brings that same energy, but with fire, literally. These skeletons aren't just sniping from the shadows. Some of them are packing enchanted bows that shoot flaming arrows. They attack the crew during their first night in the overworld, turning what should be a peaceful evening into a full-on ambush. It's fast, it's loud, and you quickly learn that staying still means getting lit up. The design stays true to the game, thin, angular, and always holding a bow. But the movement? Way more aggressive. They're not standing around waiting. They hunt, they flank, and they don't miss often. So how does it compare? It's a perfect upgrade. Same skeletons, just smarter, faster, and scarier. They don't talk, they don't hesitate. They just aim, shoot, and burn. And when the fire dies down and the battlefield clears, one final mob stands ready. Massive, metallic, and made to fight. Next up on the list are llamas. In Minecraft, llamas are the chill pack animals of the overworld. They carry your stuff, follow in a line, and spit at anything that bothers them. They're not flashy, not fast, and definitely not fighters. But there's something about them that just feels right, like they belong. In the movie, llamas get the silent background role, but they use it well. They don't talk, don't charge into battle, and don't set anything on fire. But they're there, watching, munching on grass, wandering through the village like they've seen it all before. And honestly, it works. It's calm. It's classic Minecraft. There's even a moment where one locks eyes with Steve, like it knows something he doesn't. Maybe it's wise, maybe it's judging him, maybe it just wants food. Either way, it adds to the world building, the kind of quiet detail that reminds you this isn't just a set, it's a living place. So how does it compare? It's a match. The llama doesn't need a big fight scene or dramatic arc. It just needs to show up, chew grass, and vibe, and that's exactly what it does. Now we've really met them all. From the fiery to the fluffy, those are every mob that made the Minecraft world feel alive, some friendly, some fatal, all unforgettable. From creepers to golems, the game's legends hit the big screen with style. If you want to see more content like this, click the video on the screen now.